If I asked you to name the most important car to Mercedes, you might say the Mercedes A-Class, the C-Class, something like the C63 AMG, or perhaps the G-Wagon. But did you know, since when it was first released in 2015, this, the GLC, quickly became the brand's top-selling car globally. So this right here is one of the most important cars to Mercedes. And today I've got my hands on the brand new facelifted 2023 car. And you might be thinking, wow Tish, this is the first time we've had a Mercedes on the channel. And that's true. And I'm kind of claiming it as my own. But I was supposed to be here for Electroheads when I kind of thought this was electric until I realised it's a hybrid. So why not waste an opportunity, and instead I'm going to bring it to my channel. So today we're going to be reviewing the brand new facelifted GLC300e. So this right here is a plug-in hybrid, and in today's video I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. So if that sounds good, then please keep watching. And if you like new car reviews and car content, then don't forget to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Okay, so let's start chatting about what's changed about this car. And on paper, everything that's changed is pretty important. It's had some small outside details, some small interior details, but most importantly, it gets all the big things which are important to this class of family car. We've got more tech, we've got more standard equipment, we've got more space, and we've also got a longer hybrid driving range. So let's start by talking about what makes up the GLC300e. Underneath the bonnet of this Mercedes, the GLC300e is powered by a 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine, which produces a pretty warm 201 brake horsepower and 320 newton meters of torque. However, this is the plug-in hybrid. So in addition to that, there's also a 100 kilowatt electric motor, which feeds a further 134 brake horsepower and a little bit extra torque, which hikes the total power to around 310 brake horsepower and 550 newton meters. It sprints from 0 to 62 in 6.7 seconds and has a top speed of 135 miles per hour. If you pop this car into full electric mode, the Mercedes will run on pure electric power for up to 87 miles per hour. Although if you do accelerate quite hard, the petrol engine will kick in. Mercedes actually claim that the 31.2 kilowatt hour battery will let you travel for an impressive 62 miles on pure electric, or even a potential 81 miles. Which is by no doubt going to be a big selling point for buyers. I mentioned some slight changes, but to the naked eye, this looks pretty much like it already did. But they really have made some subtle changes, and I guess the reason they've kept them subtle is because if it's not broke, then don't fix it. Clearly, customers love the GLC, so they don't want to mess with the formula too much. On the AMG cars, you've got some slightly adjusted front and rear bumpers to make it look more aggressive. But you've also got now some slimmer headlights at the front, and all cars come as standard with LED light technology. The new car is bigger than before. It's actually 60 millimeters longer, and also the wheelbase has been extended by 15 millimeters, and that's to allow more passenger space. But there is also some more boot storage as well. Okay, well I say it has a bigger boot, and it does, but not by much. The previous generation car had 395 litres, and this new 2023 model, 400 litres. I guess every little helps. That hybrid battery has, however, eaten into the underfloor boot storage, so unfortunately you won't find anywhere that you can pop your cables. Mercedes have given this handy bag, but I can imagine that a lot of people are just going to ditch this cable and leave it at home, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because it's likely that most people will charge their car at home rather than on the go. And that's because, on the contrary to the articles that I've read online that say that Mercedes can accept DC charge rates at 60 kilowatts, the charge rate is actually capped at 12 kilowatt from an AC charger, although this is the same as a lot of hybrids. Looking at the GLC here, it's clear that Mercedes have continued to make such a popular vehicle by not overcomplicating things. There's no fussy pop-out door handles or any shiny exterior fins. It's just very classy and classic. You've got the door handles, the window surrounds, and also those running boards finished in a chrome detail to match the two-tone alloy wheels. Anyway, let's take it for a drive. And you know what? I'll never get used to this Mercedes stick behind the steering wheel. It catches me out every single time. The GLC300e tips the scales at 2,355 kilograms. That's heavier than the Kia EV6 GT, and it's also heavier than key rivals like the BMW X3 and also the Audi Q5. That extra weight over the normal GLC model with the plug-in hybrid means it's less agile in bends, but the car isn't exactly aimed at keen drivers anyway. What most buyers of this car will be concerned about is how comfortable it is. And while it's not exactly perfect, mainly because all versions, if they're in their higher spec, get big wheels with low profile tyres, it's still more on the comfortable side than it is sporty. A lot of the articles that I read online said that if you're familiar with the interior of the C-Class, then you're going to be right at home in the Mercedes GLC. However, I'm not familiar with either. So it's a brand new set of eyes on this interior and it's very nice. It feels high quality. You've got a lovely mix of materials. You've got leather on top of the dash and on the steering wheel. And then you've got chrome at the bottom and around the air vents. You've then got this almost brushed wood effect grey detailing, and it flows onto this centre console which has this gloss textured detail. It's very, very lovely. I would say for my personal taste, it's perhaps a little bit old-fashioned, but that's what Mercedes are good at doing. They're so classic, they're very stylish, they're suited to that target audience which is perhaps a little bit older, and I think those people would love it in here. Of course, pride of place, you've got this infotainment screen which is mounted in a portrait design. It's really simple and easy to use, very, very clear, and there's a ton of options in here. It is a shame, however, that Mercedes no longer have a scroller on the centre console, because once again, I think for their target audience, they would have loved if that had been kept. But the good news is it does respond to your inputs very well. Also, this steering wheel. Mercedes are the best at steering wheels. It's very soft, you've got that leather, you've also got haptic buttons, which I'm not a big fan of haptic buttons, but again, they respond to your inputs very well. And this is really the only places other than on the door card that you'll find gloss black. So you don't have to worry about too many fingerprints other than on this touchscreen. You've also got a very big digital instrument cluster in front of the driver, which again is really easy to use. And you also get, in the higher spec models, a head-up display. So all of the information that you could possibly need is all at your fingertips and all very easy to access. Quality isn't just reserved for front seat passengers. People in the back are going to be very comfortable as well. These seats feel nice and high quality. However, I can't seem to be able to recline them, which is a bit of a shame, and some other rivals do that. I've also got nice details like the heavy chrome door handles. I've got a pull-out armrest, and I've also got tri-zone climate. So all of these things make travelling in the back more comfortable. It's not very often on this channel that I dip my toes in the water of cars which are this premium price point, but it's been really interesting to get accustomed with the Mercedes GLC300e, and it's been really good to compare it to something like the less premium Hyundai Tucson. What's clear is the quality. It does feel super high quality. Everything's very, very well built and finished. You get a decent level of equipment, and of course, the really important bits. You get a ton of interior space, which is comfortable for everyone in the family, and you also get that quite impressive electric driving range. I can see why this is Mercedes' top selling car. It offers a really good premium family car package. But you guys should let me know, would you go for the GLC300e, or is there another hybrid that you would perhaps opt to have as your family car? Let me know in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed the video, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. And if you wanted to see more videos like this, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Until next time guys, see you later.